This is the Dream X50 Ultra Robot Vacuum and Mop. It is the first robot that has let me forget about floors for a full week and still come back to clean rooms and mop pads that do not smell like a gym bag. I see this as a flagship robot cleaner built for people like me who want the hands-off version of clean. I juggle work, pets, and allergies, and I would rather not spend my evenings emptying bins, washing mop pads, or rescuing a robot from a rug fringe. If I can hit start, walk away, and trust the machine to handle the boring parts, that is the category that makes sense for my life. This fits a larger apartment or a house with mixed floors, door sills, and tight furniture gaps. It felt overqualified in a small studio, but in a space with real mess and varied surfaces, it shows what it can do. The look matters more than I expected because this dock lives out in my hallway. The base station is big and bold with a black and gold theme, and it actually blends better than I thought because the glossy parts are balanced with enough matte. It takes up real floor space, and it has presence. The station is hefty, and moving it is a workout. When I weighed everything together on a bathroom scale, it hovered around 40 pounds, which is not fun to shift between floors. Day to day, that weight means the dock feels planted. It does not wobble when the robot pulls in, and the built-in handle on the station makes small adjustments easier. The robot itself feels solid. The front bumper has a bit of give but does not rattle. The spinning mop plates lock in with a satisfying click, and the brushes slide out without wrestling. That matters because I pull them out often to clear long hair. The clearance and footprint affect where it can go. With the height-lowering trick engaged, it actually dips itself to squeeze under the front lip of my couch where dust loves to hide. The retractable legs are not a gimmick. I have a sunroom with a small step-up and a metal divider between tile and hardwood that sits tall. Watching the robot lift itself and cruise over a threshold that has stalled other bots felt almost surreal. No scraping sound, no spinning in place, it just climbs and continues. Setup took me less time than I expected for a machine this packed with features. I scanned the quick response code on the lid of the dock, installed the Dream application, and connected it to my wireless internet. The application held my hand the whole time. There are a few toggles that feel technical, but I never hit a wall. Once I pressed start, it mapped my place in roughly 5 minutes, which is fast enough that I did not get bored watching it. The light detection and ranging tower spins up. The map fills in, and the rooms get recognized quickly. I went back later to label rooms, draw no-go lines around a floor-length curtain, and set a forbidden rectangle around my cat's feeding corner. The connection has been stable. Commands from the application register in a second or two. The robot undocks with no hesitation, and the dock chores run automatically after a clean, so I am not digging through menus every time. The real test is how it cleans when I stop thinking about it. On hard floors, it pulls fine dust and heavy crumbs in one pass. I sprinkled baking flour near the baseboards, and it grabbed almost everything without leaving a chalky film, which is something lesser robots often do. I tried coffee grounds near chair legs, and it did not ping them around the room. It actually scooped them up. The edge cleaning is not perfect under quarter-round molding, but the corners it can physically reach come out clean. On rugs, I care about two things, hair and grit. I have a shedding dog and long hair myself. With that combination, most vacuums get wrapped or choke on mats of hair. The dual brush setup here limits tangles better than what I am used to. I still pull out strands, but it is a quick pinch and toss, not a 10-minute surgery with scissors. On my thicker living room rug, it lifted out hidden grit that I feel underfoot when I walk in socks. I know that because the dust bag in the dock felt heavy after 2 sessions, and the rug felt springier. Mopping surprised me more than vacuuming. 2 spinning pads, a decent amount of downforce, and smart routing made quick work of sticky spots. I let a coffee spill dry on my kitchen tile, and I even dabbed soy sauce on a tile line that tends to stain. It took a couple of passes to fade that mark, but it did not smear and it did not leave a sticky halo. The biggest difference is what happens after the clean. The station washes the pads with hot water and then blows hot air through them. That stops the sour mop smell that always turned me off from robot mops. I can walk by the dock the next morning and it just smells neutral. I also appreciate that the robot lifts the mop when it senses carpet. I tested this by placing a white paper towel on a short rug and sending the robot across from tile to carpet. The towel stayed white, which tells me the pads were off the fibers long before they crossed the edge. Navigation is smart without being fussy. The front camera with light-emitting diode lights and the light detection and ranging scanner work together to spot shoes, toys, and sleeping pets. I left a charging cable draped on the floor to tempt fate. The robot nudged it, thought for a second, and then rerouted. It did not eat the cord, which is rare in my experience. White cords on a pale rug are still a challenge. I had one moment where it tried to cross a thin white cable and paused awkwardly. I stepped in and moved the cable and it carried on. Under furniture, the lowering maneuver changes what I can keep clean. Previously, I would grab a broom and lie on the floor to reach under the couch. Now I tap clean under couch in the application, and it glides in and out with dust bunnies spinning into its mouth. The retractable legs give it the confidence to climb into my sunroom without head scratching, which means that area finally gets cleaned as often as the rest of the house. I built a daily routine to see if the hands-off promise holds. Morning is a kitchen and hallway run because that is where we track in crumbs and paw prints. Afternoon is a full apartment clean while I am on calls. The noise is steady and not annoying. I measured roughly 56 decibels with a phone meter while it worked in my office, which is about the level of a normal conversation. I can hear it, but I can think over it. After each session, the dock empties the bin with a short burst, washes the pads, and dries them. I refill the clean water tank every 2 or 3 days. I empty the dirty water every time I refill to avoid smells. The dust bag in the dock has lasted me a few weeks at a time, and the application lets me know when it is time to swap. Maintenance is real but minimal. I spend a few minutes a week instead of a few minutes a day. A few specific situations showed me the difference between marketing and actual life. My cat kicks litter out of the box like it is his job. The robot does not scatter the litter. It scoops it with the front edge, and the brushes pull it in without pinging pebbles everywhere. After a rainy walk, my dog walked across the kitchen and left little muddy sprinkles near the door. I sent the robot out with mopping mode only, and it lifted the prints without leaving rings. After a dinner with friends, I had tortilla chips crushed under the dining table. The robot navigated chair legs without tangling and cleared the mess in one pass. On a Sunday, I tested the threshold climbing by stacking a small wooden strip at a doorway. The retractable legs made short work of it up to about 6 centimeters. Past that height is a harsh no. That is fair, and it gives me a good limit to work with. There are extras that genuinely help me. Voice control works with Amazon Alexa and Google Home, but I still reach for the Dream application most of the time. Zone cleaning is fast. I can draw a rectangle around the entryway and tap start as I take off my shoes. The robot goes there first, cleans it, and returns to the dock without doing the whole apartment. The camera and artificial intelligence help it avoid shapes rather than just bumping and guessing. At night, the tiny lights kick on and it navigates without turning my living room into a landing strip. The dock hot wash and hot dry of the mop pads is the standout feature because it removes the biggest pain of robot mops, which is gross, soggy pads. The lowering and threshold climbing tricks feel futuristic, but they pay off in real coverage and fewer rescues. It is not perfect. The dock is big and heavy and does not disappear in a small room. I needed to pick a permanent home for it because I do not enjoy moving it. The first application setup expects a basic comfort level with smartphones and wireless networks. If I am not used to that, the first day might feel like homework. White cables on white rugs can still confuse it. Tight clusters of chair legs can trigger some odd turns and second guesses. These are small bumps more than deal breakers, and they are rare. A gentle nudge has fixed every stuck moment I have had so far. After living with it, I see who this is for. I want clean floors without babysitting, and I want a mop that does not make my house smell like old water. I have pets and a mix of tile, hardwood, and rugs. I have room for a larger dock. If that sounds like my situation, this robot is a strong fit. If I live in a very tight space, if I move my dock often, or if I love the ritual of manual mopping, The size and the whole focus on automation may not be right for me. For my daily life, it delivers what I hoped. It cuts down chores to almost nothing, it keeps pet hair and dust in check, and it handles the maintenance I never want to do. Check the comments of this video for a link to see the current pricing of the Dream X50 Ultra Robot Vacuum and Mop.